Well, old Flick can't find the creature from the Black Lagoon, but you can find the revenge of the creature in 3D right here in your home this Saturday at 6. If you get your 3D glasses at your local quick shop and tune into Cake TV 10 where you are now, Saturday at 6. I'll be hosting if I don't catch cold. So get your 3D glasses at the quick shop and be with us Saturday at 6.
Welcome. I am Old Flick, of course, and I am welcoming you to Kansas' first time ever three-dimensional motion picture on television. And since I am here to represent the cultural and educational aspect of this venture, as well as to try to catch the creature from the Black Lagoon, I have assigned a couple of my friends to handle the more plebeian matter of showing you how to watch this movie. Now have your glasses ready and watch these people closely, because this is not like other movies on television, because this one is in 3D. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've got all snagged. I'll never catch the monster at this rate. But you can catch the monster, though. Just put your glasses on and stand by, because we're about to start the revenge of the creature. If I can ever get this reel cleared, I'll get my own revenge on somebody or other. Zowie shot! Clunk, 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 clunk. Boy, that's one dead bird. I tell you, this is a formidable creature we're dealing with. However, we had told you we would keep you clued in on the educational and scientific aspects of this venture, and I must say, with some regret, it seems very unlikely that this is a creature that is moving from the aquatic to the terrestrial forms of life. You will find out, if you have not noticed already, that this creature has feet. Now, a creature living underwater has very little use for feet and would not develop them. It seemed more likely that what we have here is a creature that is moving from the terrestrial back into the aquatic form of life. And there are a couple of other questions that come to mind also. This is too large a creature to reproduce by cell division, right? Where is the other gill person? And that reminds me, why do we call this a gill man? We all know that females live longer and survive traumatic experiences much better than people do. And this creature's got some real traumas coming up ahead of it. I would suggest it is much more likely that this is a gill woman. We'll keep you clued in on these aspects which you may get overexcited and overlook. Well, now this time we have nothing ichthyological for you. We feel we're pretty heavy on that last time. But this time I have made out a few notes on the three-dimensional process. Now, are your eyes watering? Well, it's always been a little tough on people who wore glasses, you know. You should have thought of that in advance and gotten some red and green contact lenses to wear under your glasses. So we have no sympathy with you there. It is necessary to keep your posture, of course, perfectly straight, dead ahead, you know, body upright, a great consolation to parents, but something of a burden to the watcher sometimes. Some people maintain that the best you can get is a series of flat objects sliding across each other at different planes. I have no particular comment to make on that, but there is an interesting question. Do we, as a matter of fact, see stereotopically most of the time at all? I was talking to an ex-basketball coach the other day, and he said no. Only for the few seconds where you fire the ball at the basket do you actually see in 3D. The rest of the time you don't need it, and the brain doesn't develop it, you see. So, of course, you get a little tired when you have to see it for a long, long time. But, most importantly, perhaps, the lenses on the cameras on which most 3D movies were made, probably this one, were 4 inches apart. Now, the only animal that has eyes that look forward, which are 4 inches apart, is the adult male gorilla. So you see, if you're not an adult male gorilla, this movie wasn't made for you anyway. Eavesdropper. All right, now, we saw that reaction when he said, attracted attention. We saw what you people... We're not that kind of television, you know. Anyway, I really don't think that the creature would be at all interested in Lori Nelson. You know, I'll bet he would think he was sort of soft and squishy to the touch and pale and blonde as to color, you know. And she had long hair and no scales, none of those pretty little scales. And most of all, she doesn't have any of that nice, sensual coat of slime that keeps bodies from rotting when they live underwater, you know. Yes, indeed. However, racial memory of the time when he was a fully terrestrial creature, you see. That could account for his attraction to Lori Nelson. More and more, I think I'm right. This creature was terrestrial and moved back into the water. But anyway, the King Kong syndrome, you know, that animals are much in love with people, is very flattering to people. But I don't think it fits the facts very well. I don't think the buffalo and the blue whale and the dodo bird and the passenger pigeon and the whooping crane, I don't think they care much for people. Maybe the brown rat. We've been pretty good for brown rats. Did you get that number in there about whether they have the right chemistry? Well, we stop at nothing to give you information. We have checked this technical publication here, 31 million copies sold a month. How are we to explain the worldwide appeal of this most magical of sweets, one from the paradoxically bitter seed of the chocolatl tree? Maybe Montezuma knew more even than nutritionists give him credit for. According to a theory put forth by doctors Donald F. Klein and Michael R. Leibowitz of the New York State Psychiatric Institute, the brain of a person in love is awash with a substance called phenylethylamine, which brings a rosy high similar to that induced by amphetamines. Chocolate, it so happens, is loaded with phenylethylamine, which may explain why those who have loved and lost often go on chocolate binges. How about that? Now, you go on a chocolate binge, I tell you what you're going to get, you know? Acne. That's the way the world goes. Old Flick, he don't tell you no lies.